But I would say one of the biggest reasons is recruitment issues, is partners retiring and them just being unable to find other partners or other perhaps salaried GPs having to buy those partners out. So perhaps these partners have owned the premises for 20 years. They've maybe got two or three partners. When one partner leaves, that means a partner coming in is going to have to find quite often hundreds of thousands of pounds to buy out the exiting partner. And there just seems to be a shift in partners actually wanting to do that now. New junior GPs don't perhaps want the responsibility of property ownership, and I think a lot of practices are really struggling with recruitment. So I think sale and leaseback is potentially seen as a solution to that, because what it means is when the premises is sold, a GP partner doesn't have to go and find hundreds of thousands of pounds to buy into the practice. They can just be a signatory on the lease. Now, that's not risk or liability free. There's still issues with being signatories on the lease, but I think it is seen as a slightly more attractive proposition for partners who don't have to go and find the funds. So I'd say that was probably the biggest reason we see is because of recruitment. Another reason I would say is for upgrades and improvements. So a lot of practices who are perhaps in desperate need of upgrading the premises, extending the premises, modernizing the premises, but they're struggling to fund that themselves, and they can't find any, or there isn't any grant money available from the NHS. So they can potentially look at a sale and leaseback as a solution to that, because they'd sell to an investor, and sometimes they can, as part of that sale, the investor can agree to perhaps build them an extension or upgrade and improve the surgery, and therefore that's the investor funding all that rather than the practice or rather than the NHS. So I think they're the kind of certainly the two main reasons that we see, but I think it's certainly not an option for everybody. It's certainly, I think an alternative option, and what other practices partners decide when they're retiring, is rather than them going through a sale and leaseback and selling the premises, maybe they want to retain ownership of the practice. So rather than the partner leaving and selling to an incoming partner, they can't find an incoming partner, so they almost become the investor themselves. So they would become leaseholders, and the landlords, and they would lease it back. So that offers the same kind of solutions, because any incoming partner is still going to just be potentially a tenant of the practice. So there are alternative options, but I mean the main benefits, I guess, or the main things that practices should be aware of when they go through a sale and leaseback is the rent they pay the landlord is going to get fully reimbursed by the NHS. So that's one of the biggest kind of queries that we have when we take practices through sale and leaseback.